Welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第84天。It is day 84. I think we're pretty good with our new routine. I'm kind of like transitioning into a new routine slowly. Which makes us a little bit more prone to not having really anything to look at. Let's go back 28 days. Yeah. So we're good. We're good. Let's hop right in and see if we can inject some concerns. It's not every day that we get something that looks like this, right? So what was this? Sort on, right? On sort, Bart Simpson pew-pewing at people in front of the pawn shop, all sorts. Iban is my prototypic vocabulary to figure out this character, right? All right, let's get into our lesson.
合成
Lessons. 合成. See if I try to remember this. 合成. Alter or change. Turn into, and fit, turn into, to compose. Okay. When things compose, they fit together to turn into something else. Constitute, to compound. Compound, composition. Oh, I see. So things that fit into something else, to fit to turn into something else. I see. I think I can get behind that. 合成. I see it. 学生们合成了一个 okay 一个 team team. I don't know what that is. And then 对
学生们合成了一个团队。
团队 another way to express team. I wonder what kind of team that is. 团队 Yeah, so the students compose a team. Yeah, okay. So the things that fit turn into. Okay. I got it. I got what you mean now. 这些 some sort of color. Oh, maybe just regular, just color. 这些白色可以合成新的 I don't know how to say color.
这些颜色可以合成新的颜色。
Oh, I should have known 颜色 because it deals with the eyes. 颜色 Dang it. It's a different yen, but it still deals with the eyes. 这些颜色可以合成新的颜色。Reason. Is this still reason? Yes. No. Yes. Maybe. We'll go with 有两部分合成。
有两部分合成。
Oh, it's 部 not 不 Wait, did I say 不 or 不？不有两部分 不分合强. So I see the two parts, but 有 two parts composed to be composed of. Not sure how that one works actually. Oh, wrong tone. Oh, wrong tone.
合成
Great start.
也许
也许also 许 words sundial 也 permit also permit perhaps. Interesting. So when something perhaps true, you also permit it to say so. Okay, maybe, perhaps because it's also permitted. Perhaps. I kind of like it. 他也许病了. Perhaps he is ill. Okay. 也许我不该 something 可听 oh yeah 我不该可听他的 maybe
也许我不该告诉他的。
oh 告诉 oh whoops yeah I know Sue. What am I doing? 告诉 I know 告诉 what? I think I said living room. 告诉 oh my word. What a great start. Sue 告诉 yeah 告诉他的 高 oh it's 1不高 也许我不该 not 高不该也许我不该告诉他的 is
也许
也许 not 也许也许 oh so she doesn't have the dots too so G and she she G so she and G all right okay I don't have too many she's and G's yet 2 G's this is the first she no Sean we have more than one so far but they're connected so this is the first she standalone and G I have 1 2 without a final this is the first without a final 也许 okay all right
计算
计算 oh these are all the problematic ones from yesterday now we get the vocabulary calculate this is the one that we use for getting 计算 calculate has the same meaning as both of its characters amazing I'm guessing that's like 来我 来我 we're just gonna just go with 来我计算最中something 国
让我计算最终结果。
中结果让 oh that's a 让 that's a 让 让我计算最终结果。Let me. Okay. Is that supposed to be I don't know what that right character is. Okay. 结果 That's come up multiple times. 中's come up multiple times. 中结果结果你能 Okay. 你能 Dang it. That came up multiple times too. 你能长 Something that I don't know what that is. 你能 something 的计算这个吗？
你能准确的计算这个吗？
准 So it's still 准 Wait, is that the same one that I got? Oh no, it is the same one that I got. Why does it look different? I didn't remember the cross. What does the cross have to do with it? Oh, maybe because he's in an infirmary? I should have known. 准 che. Do not know che. I should have known Jun. What does that mean? Standards? Something. Accurately. There's can you do the calculations accurately? Yeah. An accurate calculation on this one. Like this. Okay.
计算
计算
举重
举重 What's our G? To lift heavy. Oh, to lift weights. Yes. To lift weights is simple. Just lift up something heavy. Okay. Facts. 我要去健身房 Do I have this? I feel like I had 2 gyms, but I feel like the last thing was not 房 maybe we did. 健身房举重
我要去健身房举重。
I don't remember you. Caliper with words? No. 我 hate 举重。
我讨厌举重。
我讨厌举重。Okay.
举重
I keep writing weight and life.
自信
Okay. Have faith in oneself. Yeah, if you have faith in yourself, then you're self-confidence. You have self-confidence. I think we're just gonna go with confident in the future. Maybe not. 自信 Yes. Xena, bathroom, infirmary, pray, words become Slenderman. Okay, teasing. I saw this a couple of times too. Lack.
缺乏自信。
缺乏自信。他国语。 即兴 has in self-confidence 过于yeah 他过于即兴
他过于自信，
自信那即兴自信
自信，
自信
合成，也许，
也许
计算，
计算
举重，
举重
自信，
自信 alright 提起 to mention so to bring up to begin yeah to mention something you begin by bringing up speak of to speak of mentioning it's still to bring up I mean it's still superseded to bring up this could be just up and to bring not literal but figurative 一提起这事他就冒火hat it might not be
一提起这事，他就冒火。
yeah 冒火 he gets angry 冒火 that's kind of funny head maybe like head related fire angry 冒火 or hot head fire head or to get fired as in like fired up
一提起这事，他就冒火。
the mere mention okay 提起这事 mere interesting 他多的这是什么？他多次提起你，他多次提起你，
他多次提起你，
他多次oh yeah that's right 他多次提起你。Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. So how many times 多次提起你 mention you okay 他从没 정mei never. I didn't get 정mei yet. Oh no. 정부 is 정부 never too? Pretty sure. Yeah, I think I got 2 nevers. 타 정mei 정mei 提起够这件事
他从没提起过这件事。
I keep saying 过这件事这件事 this matter mention so it'll be 提起过yeah 提起过 so 他从没提起过这件事 that checks out he never mentions this matter
提起
let's go over some stuff here. T is permanent now, so we're okay with that. T, not so much. Sun, pointer. Oh, this is Timmy Turner in the house being parents bringing up his misdeeds, encouraging him to bring up his grades.
或许
Okay, I skipped over. I bamboozled myself over 或 yesterday. That was fine. 或许 Okay, so permit or permit, which is maybe, which is also perhaps. Yeah. So we have also an or permits. Oh, maybe perhaps possible. We'll just keep this until I decide suddenly possible or something. A maybe is an or scenario that we permit consideration of. Yeah, fair enough. 或许能来 she maybe can come 能来 oh wow, a second bot today. 2 bots so soon. Okay. 或许会同意的 agree, yeah, 同意 agree with, it's going to agree, will agree with, he maybe will agree with.
他或许会同意的。
或许会同意的。
或许想法
method, thinking. So to think a method is an opinion. Way of thinking is fine. Actually, way of thinking might be a little bit better. Opinions, perspective, kind of. More of an opinion. Your opinion is the result of the method that you use to think. Each person has a different method of thinking, so they have different opinions. Okay, 想法 I can always this is actually my safety net way of thinking. I'm gonna put perspective. Okay，大家的想法，你有什么想法？ Okay, that's a good one though. 想法 is good.
想法。信用卡。
信用卡 Alright, we don't need this. We're good. Let's just 我可以用信用卡吗？我用信用卡 support attach 了了 something something
我用信用卡支付了账单。
支付了账单 Oh, that's done. Oh, that makes sense. For bill. 账单 paid 支付了 Okay.
信用卡。部分。
部分 a part of a part, a section of a section is still a section, but oh, it gets silenced though. I could get bopped for silence. Or not. Interesting. Wait. Whoops. Not. Interesting. It either doesn't get silenced. It either gets silenced or it gets forward. Ooh, fun. Wonder where that is from. 第一部分 First part 1. Okay. 最后 last one. 最后一部分 Interesting that there's use of this.
部分。
Alright. Go.
提起。
And it's gone.
或许。
或许
想法。部分。
部分
信用卡。
Alright.
计算机。
计算机 The calculate machine. Alright, I got you. Or computer? Huh. Interesting. The difference between calculate machine and brain, electric brain. 请把计算机放在桌子上。Please place the calculator on the desk. Gotcha. 我需要一个新的计算机。图 Is that tool? Is that supposed to be tool? Tool shape. Graphing calculator. Oh, diagram shape machine. Calculator or calculator. Oh, interesting. I don't know what that is though. We're gonna go with tool. 画 图画计算机。
图形计算机。
It's not even close. 图形形. Oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, 形. Like kind of appearance or environment or like, yeah. Gotcha.
计算机
计算机
提到
提到 so many synonyms. No, to bring up, to arrive. Okay, to arrive at the thing you're bringing up is to mention it. To mention something, you forcefully bring up the matter or casually arrive at it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Alright. 提到 is still kind of... Alright. It's still kind of to bring up, still. Default to that if... okay. But it's different. 提到, it's different. But can be still summarized by bringing it up. Like something has brought up, oh, you know what? It kind of has a little like intransitive and transitive thing going on. Now that I think about it. Like this is more, in my opinion, more like, oh, now that you mention it, like it happens to be mentioned versus the other one. But 前面提到的 I have no guesses.
前面提到的原则。
原则前面提到的原则 principle. Above, really? 前面 for I guess for surface mentioning, above mentioned. So above as in the prior mentioned. The above mentioned, before, it's actually using before in front as opposed to like literally above. Above would be like 像, but this is before, the aforementioned principles. Okay. 他提到了这件事. Okay, he mentioned this. Okay, fair enough. That doesn't help distinguish. Okay, two.
提到
We gotta start writing stuff and responding and role playing. There's so many synonyms. You came back from CrossFit? What did you miss? Nothing. Nothing big. How was your CrossFit? What'd you do today in CrossFit? You healing alright? Your CrossFit was like an hour? Wow. You spent 2 hours plus? What's your commute to your CrossFit place? That's a long session. 提到
举手
To raise a hand. Oh, that makes sense. To lift up the hand. I'm all for this. To raise a hand. I'm all about this. One could even say to lift a hand, but that would be kind of weird. Yeah, to raise a hand. I'm okay with this. 举手 Less than 10 minutes. It started 5:30, ended 6:30. Solid 1 hour. Nice, nice. What you guys do? 极少 indicates, yeah, 极少. What are we using this for? That's a totem. That's not a totem. Yes, it's a totem. Oh no, that's an altar. Standalone altar. We did not get standalone. This one was Yao. To indicate Biao something 同意 in agreement to indicate
举手表示同意。
表示，对，是表示同意。举手表示同意。他因为有问题而举手。对。举手 not 主手，举手，so 举 and 时 right 举时，举手
他因为有问题而举手。
举手。6 rounds, okay. For 30 seconds, box dips. I'm guessing they're tricep dips. And box sits. Interesting, box sits. Then strength, 10 rounds of 30 double under or single. If you can't do it, jump rope. Oh, double under, interesting. And then 5 toes to bars and then 2 wall walks. Interesting. Wow, that's quite, those are very dynamic things. Very calisthenic heavy actually. Box dips. Box dips are kind of okay. Look, it's nice. Hopefully, you have enough shoulder mobility for that. Not sure what box sits are. Maybe like, and then the strength double under, and that's jump rope. That's fine. Toes to bars, hanging toes to bars. So we're talking about dead hang or active hang. And you're lifting your toes and touching the bar, right? That's pretty impressive. If you're doing a toe touch while hanging, dead hanging, and then wall walks. Wall walks make sense. Do you wall walk up the wall and then back down the wall? Is that how that's working out? You back up into a wall in like from a plank stance or something, from like a push-up position. Interesting. But you can't toe to bar side. You just kick up. Yeah, you kip, or you try. Do you do a kip or do you do a static up? You just lay down and push up. Oh. Wait, you lay down. Oh, okay. I get what you mean now. What a wall walk is. Interesting. You know what I mean by from a plank position, right? Like you're in a push-up position and you just back yourself up and you push your foot up, and then you would end at a handstand against the wall. And then you come back down, and then you would slide back down into it. So like if you had a side profile. Yeah. So your body would be like this, and here's the wall, and you would slowly go up the wall, and then go back down into the plank position. These are your hands, feet. Okay, and then the toe touch is impressive. Going straight to a toe touch, that's pretty okay on the shoulder. The wrists would be pretty baller. Jeez. So if you're on the floor, that's great. That's not as terrible on your wrist. Sometimes going straight into like wall walking with your wrists, ooh, Man, I can't tell you how many times I see people like their arms jiggle and then they like miss, so then their wrists gets overextended. Or sometimes they're like compensating for one side, so one of the shoulders dip and then the other shoulder raises, so then one side's shoulder gets tweaked as they're like wall walking upward a wall. Intriguing. Very cardio heavy if you're doing it quickly. Double, huh? Double jumping. Sounds exhausting. Sounds like an amazing workout. What's this? G手.
举手，轻，
Qing. That's light? What kind of light? Wait, how's this stream? That's supposed to be stream? Ain't no way. The two lines on the outside represents the bank of the stream, where the line... Wait. Okay, we're putting river for this too. Okay. Okay. You're talking about that little thing. No, that's a flood. We already have a flood. Wait, where's the stream then? Oh, a loom. Wait, you're saying this is a stream? I swear we had a flood already. Okay, I'm a little confused. Stream and flood are assigned to the same thing. We have to double check this. I'm pretty sure this is flood. That's a little weird. Huh. Anchor to the ground. Okay, anchor to the ground. One each side of a stream. What? Anchor to the ground. One each side of a stream. Oh. Okay, anchor to the ground. Anchor to the ground on each side of the stream is a huge crossbeam. You sit on top of it, suspended above the stream, with a huge loom that you use to weave some cloth. How peaceful. Wait. Sit on top of the crossbeam, suspended above the huge loom. Oh, Alright. This one's gonna be tough.
轻，
So it got to loom, but I don't know about stream. This is flood, but I guess flood and stream kind of works okay. Okay. Oh no, it's not the Kirby. And Kirby is outside the Heckin. It's another Qing. Oh, jeez. Why? Kirby is in front of the English Manor, where he uses a loom to make a car. Oh, that's kind of cute because one of the recent Kirby games, what was it? Something Yarn Adventures or something. Kirby was actually was made of yarn. To make a car, and then funny enough, the most recent Kirby, Kirby actually turned into a car, or ate a car. I don't know what you qualify as, but became a car. Car made out of the finest fabric. It is so light. Oh, that light that it begins to float away, and Kirby runs and jump after it. Oh, light as in lightweight. Oh, I see. I'm gonna write not heavy. Hey. Hello there, Big T. Not heavy. Okay. For now. So, 轻. 念轻. Light on years? I'm gonna write small as well. Or little. It's the same one. 念轻, that 轻. I wasn't sure about that. 轻, 轻忽, neglect. Light. What? Light? Neglect? Is to still neglect? Okay. Okay. 轻, easily. 轻易. Light? Easy. Oh no, we don't got that yet. It's probably still easy though. But easily. Light boat. 轻坐. Okay. That makes sense. 轻盈. How are you, Big T? How have you been? What? Oh, come on. Stop teaching me. Stop teaching me English words I don't use. Oh, then help. Thin, supple, and graceful. Supple.
Lithe.
Lithe. Oh, yeah, that's how you say that word. That's right. Okay. Supple. Interesting. Alright. Oh, this is gonna be a problem.
星
Which one can we use? Probably light boat. 轻坐. 轻坐. Oh no, but it's 坐. We don't have 坐 yet. 轻坐, but that's light boat will work. Okay. So what? This is the loom. 提到.
提到
Up and down, got a daughter that's about 13 months. Congratulations, Big T. Congratulations. Happy birthday to your daughter as well. Interesting. 13 months. So end of February, huh? Oh, no, wait. 13 months. Yeah. Yeah. Congrats. How's the paternity period for your new one? Interesting, because coincidentally, Chixie also had a new little one too. Let's see. Loom.
星
What were you looming? A car in front of the English Manor. Too lightweight. It floated away. February 9th? Almost 14 months now? I see.
举手
Oh. 计算机
计算机
Done. List. Okay. That's a list. Okay, in the middle of a rice paddy. Sure. At the top of a huge cross is a boombox. I see where you're going. That instructs everyone how to farm. It lists out everything you need to do one after another. First plant the seed, then cover it in dirt, and so on and so forth. For those who can't hear, nailed to the middle of the cross is a written list of what the boombox is. Okay. Always nice when she's sick and coughs and sneezes in your faces. Yeesh. Hopefully that's not too frequent, right? Hopefully that's not too frequent. It sounds like a handful. Hopefully a rewarding handful. Done. I guess.
单
This does work. But I'm more, yeah, list does work because a menu is a list of items. A bill is a list of items. Fair enough. Dracula is in front of the pawn shop, ready to enter and buy some cheap goods. He looks at his list of the things he should buy. Blood jar, new, black cape. He then looks at his don't buy list. Garlic, bright lights. He's ready to enter. Right. That's quite a list. Yeah, here it is. Maidan for Bill. Heiming done. Ooh. Blacklist. Black nameless. Ding dong. Okay, I see. 简单, oh, simple. Ooh, that's a bit of a flex on the list thing. I don't know how 简单 is organized here. If it's the dan part or the 简 part that I don't understand. Lonely. Udan. We have to know the other thing.
单
Gun and list is
Yang.
fine. Young. Positive. Do I know a word with young? I'm not sure if I know you. Yoshi. Okay, Yoshi is inside the chapel near the altar, which is surrounded by grassy hills. Sure. Next to him is a enclosure. Oh yeah, that's right. That's an enclosure with a huge 3D positive sign within it. Just being near it, Yoshi feels more positive. Okay. He sits on his dinosaur behind and smiles. Jeez. Positive. I'm not sure. Can I get some words? Taiyang. Very positive. Sun. Taiyang. That doesn't help too much. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yin yang. Yeah, the positive. Oh, interesting. I thought the other one was actually positive, but okay, so this must be the white side. Huh, possibly. To sunbathe. It still has Taiyang in it. Not helping. Whoa, what the heck character? Shy Taiyang. Okay. Taiyang, is this only associated with sun? You know what? I honestly, I'm just gonna play Sun here. I feel like Sun, following some sort of Kevin's logic for some of these characters, I think Sun is even more appropriate given his examples. And then, yeah, a temple. Interesting, positive, very positive hole. A very positive hole is temples. Although it kind of just screams sun holes. Okay.
Yang. Shi.
That's gonna suck. Okay, we finally got shi to show. And it's just an alter. Oh no. This is gonna be a little tough. One component characters retroactively are tough now. Shrek is in the bathroom of the house. Sure. Shrek is in the bathroom of the house. In the bathtub is a shiny altar that he has just cleaned. Sure. He reads the top of it, which has an inscription that shows him how to be a good ogre. Sure. I get some examples. Express. That's a good one. 表示, which we saw recently. 表示. So to show feelings. Surface express. To express what's on the surface. To bring something to the surface. To show it on the surface. Okay. 情绪. To ask for instructions. So politely show. To ask for directions. Okay. Can you show? To ask for instructions. To demonstrate. 示范. I don't know. I don't have any fun. So sure, to show. Maybe the other thing is to do or demonstrate as well. To showcase. Maybe the left side is some sort of static object. Like a shelf or something. 讲是. And then weak. To show weakness. Oh yeah, that makes sense. To show weakness. 是 roll. 是 roll. 是 roll. 是 what? 是 roll. 是 roll. Roll. Yeah, 是 roll.
是
Okay. Alright.
是
And it's gone. Enclosure, hills, Yoshi.
羊 单
Wait, why was it outside? Oh, his list. His list of stuff. Goodbye. Alright. Those are questionable, but we did have fewer characters this time around. Alright, time for our reviews. I'm lock in. Right? I drew. I think the vocabulary is extending dramatically now. Huh. Alright. Okay.
气温
气温降低了，
咱 问
Okay. Hold. Oh, that's wrong. I did I typed the wrong thing. That was a typo. Oh, wait, what? Oh, meaning.
生病，
I'm like, what the heck is going on?
全部，
他们全部是学生。
一般。
一般，
这是一般人的心理。
等于，
1+2等于3。
Oh no. 等于 is not good. Etc. in equal to. Oh yeah, the context sentence is so good though. 等于
狗，生鱼片，
我不喜欢吃生鱼片。
all right.
使，
Okay. The heck?
忽然，
我忽然想到一个好主意。
How does neglect so? What is no? Neglect? I want to say it's to fall through, but I don't know. It's not. Suddenly, yeah. You're gonna have this one. There's no way I'm gonna remember this very quickly. Yeah, it's you neglect the possibility, so it happens before your eyes. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna remember that.
牛奶，
他喝很多牛奶。
故意，
你是故意哦我。
爱情，
爱情无价。
虽然，
他虽然20多岁了，但是还不够成熟。
房租，
付房租，
肉体，
肉体上的痛苦，
非法，
非法活动，
必然，
必然结果，
动物，
孩子们喜欢看动物，
当地，
当地习俗，
加油，
飞机要在上海降落加油，
英国，
你是英国人，对不对？
板，半，加油站，
我在一家加油站工作，
球，给予，
给予表态，
停，云，带，腿，草地，
我家房前有一片草地，
平，素， 物
Sorry, I was muted. Bill Mouth. Bill Mouth. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just drawing a blank today on this. This is a complete blank. No whatsoever. Just nothing. Nothing is coming at all. Can't be that. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, heckin' Chucky and blowing. Yeah, this was gonna be a problem before. It's just gonna be a problem. It'll continue to be a problem for a while. Need more reinforcement to show up. I keep forgetting to silences.
意思
什么意思？
以下
房间里温度是10度以下。
吹
The meaning is slipping as well. Shay, it's not what I would think as the primary meaning of that. But I don't have any strong vocabulary yet.
好听
这首歌真的很好听。
动做人
学生首先要学会做人。
公斤
我体重刚好50公斤。
休息
我一整天都没有休息。
记得
我不记得你。
骑立机车
他会骑机车。
准备
我正在准备晚餐。
Oh, and if I didn't look at crazy pills yesterday because I didn't remember what crazy pills were, I wouldn't have remembered mushroom. That would have been a tough one.
所有
所有的票都卖光了。
Yeah, soyo is tough too. Well, only recently I made a mistake on it, so.
“硬”油画
他会画油画。
家里
我要待在家里。
哭
What are you? Sheep and soil? The heck? Okay, what could look like this? It's not a totem. That can't be a totem. Sheep and soil. Homeland? Pasture? Earth? Place? Floor? Ground? It's something like that, right? What uses this? Do I have a word that uses this right now? I can think off the top of my head. No, I can't think of. I don't know. I'm gonna no idea what it is. It is a totem. Oh, that's a syringe. Oh my gosh, that's a syringe. They were doing syringe and horns. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Oh, and sheep has one extra. Sheep has one extra stroke. It is a totem. Oh well, you got me. I mean, that's bound to happen, right? Oh, hold up. Yeah, sheep has one extra stroke. I guess. We'll make a comment about that. You got me. You got me. Or it really doesn't matter if it's a totem or not. The totem thing doesn't really help. So, totem doesn't really help in most of the mnemonics. jeez.
自来水，
自来水很方便。
年，
I don't remember why that is fortune.
对手，
别小看你的对手，
Ooh. Okay. Wait. No.
挺身而出，
在危急时刻，他挺身而出。
猪，少数，
少数服从多数，
Second totem. Ugh. This doesn't come to me right away. What? Ugh. Muscular arm. Woman on 努力. Yeah.
努力，
我们的努力已经到顶了。
天分，
这孩子很有天分。
收入，
总收入，
精，自，两，星，爬上，
他爬上了树。
男生，
我们班有12个男生。
Male students. I'm gonna correct this. Oh, or unless I already added it. Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, boy, men, all of them. Anything. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
行，听说，
你有听说吗？
长久，
长久之计，
It's long lasting or long term. We're gonna go with long lasting.
奴，
Okay.
放假，
我这个月没有一天放假。
That is to ask for leave. Yeah, it's still to ask for leave. 请假 is also no, it's fine. We're being too stickler about that. We're being too loose about that. It's fine. You got it.
又
It says again. It says again or already again.
口味
个人口味不同，
自己
我喜欢自己做饭，
I can bear. Never forget. Never surrender.
球队
我们球队又败了，
踢船遍地
遍地都是死人，
一边
学校的一边关闭了，
楼先 认出
我立刻认出了你，
鸡 问好
他打电话来问好，
I can send regards. That's one of the weak ones.
放学
All right, we got some weak ones. We'll add one additional one too. That's not too bad. I think we're getting the hang of it. I think there's something really clicking on the HanziHero side. I think the volume can be even higher. I'm only stopping on a couple because it's not in a disagreement with mnemonics or anything. There's no disagreement. Things are leaning really well. I think it also feels like there's a clustering. I like what, to its detriment, it's a double-edged thing, but Kevin constantly mentions this in the community thing when someone says, why do you choose to only use this vocabulary word to assign to this character? And generally, Kevin's current goal is to assign at least a character and a vocabulary to each one before going back and doing them. I actually think that ends up being quite useful because for me, having one decisive prototypic word and or few, like a few words attached to a character creates the foundation of the read, the consistent read prior to introducing more things. So as synonyms and like stuff pile on, it gets more complicated more quickly. But I think the pace in which they're introducing vocabulary words to the character is kind of in a nice spot. Wanikani, on the other hand, it seems like it's a bit haphazard. Everything is like, it feels like because of how loose it was originally, you know, when it starts off, a lot of the things were loose, right? Or they were concise because there were few things. But when it becomes more and more when it gets scaled up, Wanikani's system or whatever they're using becomes less and less scalable. But HanziHero holds that scalability a lot harder or a lot quicker. So I can almost feel like, and this is going to be a really interesting hot take, but if one had to wager, like say if they were equivalent, right? This is always the comparison, oftentimes a point of comparison. If I wanted a system that I was going to use in the long term and having a more auspicious, easier time, as some people might say, easier time in terms of its foreseeable scalability, I think applying something like this to Japanese moving forward would be scalable. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not up for the challenge. You know, obviously, I like the idea that they're both different, but one is clearly clicking a lot quicker than the other. And we're going to make more adjustments to it. And soon, because it's less than a week from now, we're going to make a dramatic adjustment for the way Wanikani is doing things. Only because now I kind of have a pretty decent idea after what, more than like 200 plus hours now in both of them. I kind of got an idea of how I'm going to tweak it. I'm not overly enthusiastic about constantly using whatever is in the baked Wanikani moving forward, and that's kind of a common trend in Wanikani. The moment you reach a specific, so I'm really no different. I hit the average amount of duration around like level 10, 9 to 10, when people start thinking about alternative ways to change up the way Wanikani is being useful for them. So they start supplementing and whatnot and tweaking the stuff. And I feel about the same. We're about to be around the level 10 mark, and that's where things are starting to hit a huge wall. And that dialogue has come up multiple times in Wanikani, where retroactively some of the stuff are not consistent. They're inconsistent enough to make you work hard. However, it doesn't feel good, right? But you're still working hard, so you'll end up remembering those things at some point. The idea is it's not as smooth as one might like. HanziHero, I can see this scaling further. I mean, I can probably, if I dropped Wanikani and Duolingo Spanish, for example, I could do this for like 10 hours straight. Like, it is fast, it is furious, and you get used to the stuff really quickly. You can certainly acquire a lot of vocabulary, obviously. This is for reading and like character acquisition and stuff. And Kevin certainly, whether it was planned or not, the way he went about it is, I can kind of feel it happening. Things are just clicking so much quicker and faster. In fact, it almost feels as though I'm reading even less to figure out even more. So kudos. Not quite sure how I'm going to describe this stuff, but I'm working on it. How many days do I have till then? I have 16 days, right? 16 days to collect my thoughts about this. It's really clicking now. It's to the point where I was kind of expecting this stuff to take longer, but it's getting shorter and shorter. I'm getting faster and faster. And Wanikani is getting longer and longer. Not for the sake of I'm consuming more. I'm slowing down because I'm trying to remember more. I'm compensating. I think that's one thing to really remind oneself. When you're struggling to remember something, or when something's not working, speeding up doesn't usually allow you to solve that problem. It's less likely to solve that problem. It might even exacerbate that problem or create the dreaded phrase bad habits, right? So Wanikani, from day to day, Now I'm slowing down. I'm getting slower and slower because something is not working for me. So I'm trying to figure those things out, and then I'll start implementing them as I'm going. HanziHero, on the other hand, I'm going faster and faster. So that's kind of nice. It also leaves room for more things. So I'm still covering the same amount of volume, which is twice the volume that Wanikani has. I'm covering twice the amount of volume. It might be 3 times the volume, actually. 3 times the volume of Wanikani with less pauses. And like 3 times the volume and largely 3 times the efficiency. So something's working, something's not. It's just, that's how it be right now. Intriguing. Intriguing. Very intriguing. Okay, so let's go over our stuff. Oh, and I have to check something. So I'm pretty sure flood is a component. Let's look at components. Are we almost done with all our components? No. We should have... How many more components do we have? We're at 300 plus components, and it goes up to... We're over half of the components. Jeez. And it doesn't feel like I'm juggling 300 components. It feels like I'm juggling like 15. The reason why I'm saying 15 is I feel like there are 15 that I don't automatically just know. I would say conservatively there are 15 that like I look at it as like I don't know, you must expend more effort. Okay, where is flood? Yeah, see, we have flood. So flood is here, but it was misascribed to loom. That's interesting. So flood is not part of loom, but stream is, even though stream is part of something else. So that's kind of a weird take. You could kind of look at stream as a form of flood, I suppose. But yeah, there are plenty of places for stream, but it's not in loom. Unless that's supposed to be stream. Like, are you like... It could be... I mean, if they're suggesting, you know, this is the type for this character, right? For this component. And not this. But that's a little weird. I don't know. This has got me a little puzzled here. There are definitely plenty of characters that uses the stream component, but the flood component's new to me. Actually, I've actually haven't ever seen the flood component, because before this I learned traditional, and traditional does not. I didn't see any occurrence of this yet in traditional. I mean in simplified. Sorry, simplified, not traditional. This is traditional. So interesting. That might be a little bit of an oversight. Perfectly alright though. You can pivot between flood and stream. They're they're similar enough. So we have loom, stream, or river. River works. List. Qing. Sure. Yang. Dan. And also, another thing is that The one thing in Wanikani, the synonyms, right? The overlapping words when they're defining words, and there's a bit of an overlap, so you can only capture those nuances in like paragraphs and sentences and native content, right? Or listening to stories or reading and stuff. Those synonyms are more of a hassle because the mnemonics fall apart, versus there's lots of synonyms here, right? There's tons of synonyms here, but the synonyms don't get in the way of each other on how to read the things, because there's double meaning, and there's a meaning attached to the different components that ropes back all the way to its read and its other things. Like, it's a lot more elaborate when you're looking at these vocabulary words compared to Wanikani, which is disjointed. So you have to negotiate constantly. There's a break here and there. So if you're missing a reading, it doesn't naturally go back to its meaning, which is meaning will help you on a read, and then that read will help you on which read and which where and when are special cases and not special cases. And you might be thinking, well, then isn't that just a lot of mnemonics, different types of mnemonics? Well, you can build an overarching system to accompany that. Not that I'm going to do that myself. I think that's just doubling down the work. So we'll embrace whatever it is that Wanikani has. I think one of the excellent choices here, which you still have an option, is to have the read and the meanings be back to back, largely because if the mnemonics fail, then you still have order association, thought process, like thought order to it, which will change in Wanikani. We're going to change it in Wanikani. I used HanziHero as a default because HanziHero by default does the read then the meaning, or yeah, the read then the meaning, and at the same time have context sentences, which will structure that very similarly to Wanikani. That's probably where it's going to resolve a lot of my connection issues, mechanical issues, in case I just drop the ball on a read or a meaning. You're doing 2 to 3 times more thinking because the components keep on mix and matching, and inconsistently mix and matching on Wanikani. So it slows down quite a bit. It's very intellectually difficult though. So emotionally, it's kind of very rewarding to try to figure it out. But at the same time, if someone was like concerned about how quickly they're doing things, might not be for them. Yeah, Wanikani is definitely slower for me. It's a no contest, not even close. I wouldn't even argue. Some people could be arguing, well, you know more about Chinese than you know about Japanese, etc. It's like, that's not quite true. I have more exposure to Japanese than I have to traditional Chinese on a regular basis. So even across my lifetime. And then someone would say, well, the grammar is different. Japanese have very different. Well, this is grammarless, so the two things don't deal with grammar or conjugation. And then you could say, well, Japanese reads are more complicated. It's like we have tonality in Chinese. You have to type the tones, so it's very hard. It's apples and oranges. You have to be accurate with your tone, and Kevin has a system to count for tone. If you're gonna weigh the, like, oh, which one is it? Is it onyomi or kunyomi? Like, well, which tone is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on every single one. So inherently, I would say it's negligible if you're considering that, right? So not a competition, but really one is kind of shining for me in retrospect than the other. I wonder now I'm very curious what the prevailing FSRS stuff is like. But I'm not interested enough to triple down on SRS. I think this is sufficient to understand how SRS works, or these types of SRS things. Huh. Interesting. And if I really wanted to throw some fire in the flame wars and whatnot, if there's anything that's most enjoyable, I still think I enjoy Duolingo more. Like, we're not talking about like proficiency or how many words you're learning or you're pronouncing better or something. We're talking about like a raw output of enjoyment, right? And then someone would say like, but it's so boring, it's so redundant. It's like, well, that's because in my opinion you think you're extracting the same information every time. So that's cool. That's fine. I mean, if you think of HanziHero and Wanikani and SRS, you're extracting the same information every time. The method doesn't change. So in Duolingo, the method does change. It changes quite dramatically, but the content itself is not changing rapidly. So it's a different thing. Are you focused on your learning process, or are you focused on your content? Some people think that beating a game using the same method on all the bosses is fast, efficient progress. And then I think that having to struggle and win against, solve a puzzle with a different set of rules every single level is a form of progress, right? So that's kind of, I think, what makes Duolingo incredibly divisive for anyone who likes SRS. SRS caters to owning and creating a consistent system that they use to learn everything. A consistent system to learn everything. Meanwhile, when you have a tool that wants you to engage in 4 or 5 or 6 different systems, you have to go over the same content with each of the systems. So then it feels like, what does that feel like? In a video game perspective, it feels like a developer extending the life of their content, right? Oh, here's one way to beat a boss, but if you really truly want to beat this game, my favorite genre is the roguelike genre. It's not about how many bosses or unique bosses I beat, is how many different ways can I get to the final boss and beat the final boss. So to me, I have a partial preference for the learning process. So as if it's the same content, like, oh yeah, I already know what, I don't know, well, I already learned what all the pronouns are, for example, right? It's just wo and ta and ni, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, well, this is another way you can learn what wo, ta, and ni are. It's like, but I already know wo, ta, and ni, so I don't need to learn other methods. It's like, then yeah, SRS is fantastic because you only need to learn one way and then apply that one way as fast as possible. And HanziHero's got this nailed, right? Wanikani, every time there's an inconsistency, right? Maybe like an error or a grammatical error or a tone mix up, then the bells ring off the people. So kudos to Kevin's and Koichi and Co, because they're the people that they have in the community are people who are extremely fine-tuned to picking out all the like slight disturbances in the idiosyncrasy, because they expect a well-oiled machine. Like SRS is a well-oiled machine. It's as fast and efficient over time as it can get. It gets to the point it's boring, and it's so boring, but you're collecting progress. So it gets to a point where you're doom scrolling. SRS is, in my opinion, the closest thing to doom scrolling that I can think of for language learning. It just got it. Just keep flipping very, very fast, right? The faster you get, the higher the dopamine goes, and it's just rapidly going through it. And meanwhile, when in Duolingo, I'm like, oh, well, that's not explained. Maybe I should stop here. And so even then, there's still more quote unquote engagement in Duolingo, which makes sense because that's the whole philosophy of Duolingo. It's engagement over the pedantic nature of being efficient, right? So whether you learn a lot of Japanese or not, in the long run, you could also say it's a matter of taste. But generally speaking, I would say if you're a one-trick pony, you like your life to be incredibly efficient, and you only need to learn how to learn one time, yeah, SRS is massively popular. I am not surprised that the vast majority of people who are in the Gen Z department or younger nowadays, who operate on internet algorithm and enjoy their video games the way it is, SRS is, you can't even quit SRS at this point. It's like it's built for you. Meanwhile, all I can think about is I'm glad that I have this, right? HanziHero and Monikani is so fantastic, but all I can think about is I'm working harder in SRS. Like, hear me out. I said that I'm getting a lot of characters and a lot of vocabulary, right? But it's harder to learn things without context for me. So like SRS is making me work harder. So when I'm working harder, I'm actually ironically learning more, or like I'm remembering better, but I'm still working harder. It's actually, for me, like the people who are discovering after SRS becomes less efficient or less useful, that pulling up a good book, reading something you're interested in, at some point when you have enough vocabulary and whatnot, right? When that becomes approachable, you go and watch your podcasts, your movies, your stories, and realize how much the weight just flows off, right? Because you no longer have to make disjointed, unnatural SRS. And it's pretty weird to me when people say, oh yeah, Duolingo is unnatural because of synthesized voices and the way they do simple sentences, and meanwhile they're like, you should use Anki to get a more natural consistent thing to avoid habits. It's like SRS is just unnatural. It's a period. Like I'm not even disagreeing with you. I agree with you. Duolingo is unnatural, but SRS and Anki is too. Like, you know, reading things you care about, talking to people that care about you and you care about them, culturally invest yourself in something that you use every day, develop a life habit around something that you're choosing to do is natural. Not how someone naturally sounds, in my opinion. That's a really hot take, I know, but if you're telling yourself constantly every day to sound like something you are not, that is the most unnatural thing I can think about as you're trying to do it. You can try to want to sound like them but still sound like yourself. That's a more natural opinion. So cue the natural thing. Maybe I'm stepping a little too far back, but when people get hyper focused on specific things, me sounding like a Japanese, not being a Japanese person, or is, or like me trying to sound like a Chinese person but not actually just a Chinese person, that sounds like SRS to me. That's the SRS mindset. It's part of a bigger picture. But I wouldn't be satisfied by saying I want to spend my entire life being something I'm not. I want to be something that is that and everything else. So, weird. When someone comes up and say, aren't you concerned that you're going to sound like a, I don't know, what's a great example? We're about to move to Spanish, so what if you constantly sound like a gringo, right? I'm like, that's fine. Like, well, okay, in Japanese, like, what if everyone will constantly think you're a gaijin? Like, that's fine too, because I am, to some extent, right? And then, obviously, to Chinese people, I'm an American. So, I mean, my parents refer to me as an American. So, that's very normal. It's home. That doesn't mean I can't communicate with them in their language. So, it goes really deep. But I think there's so much to talk about when it comes to... I have this, like, social experiment going on now. Now that I've done a lot of this like experimentation for learning process, for language learning, it's a very interesting way to figure out what kind of person, like what kind of thinker or student that I'm talking to. It can be very useful in the future. Like, for example, when someone comes to me for advice, like in private and whatnot, like they trust me and they want me to help them with career advice or how they approach learning, I don't know, something that they have to learn, like mathematics or statistics. Things like this can really help out on figuring out what might work for the person. So I've extracted quite a lot of information from seeing what's popular in different ways. Why is SRS popular? And then why is Duolingo popular, right? It's fascinating. And if you're wondering, SRS, why I say SRS and not Wanikani and HanziHero, because SRS is so disjointedly homogeneous when it comes to their design that it's a dime in a dozen. Duolingo is irreplaceable because it's popular in a sentimental standpoint. It addresses a foundational deficiency that many people lack when they're voluntarily learning something. It's something so much more relatable and intuitively inclined for humans. SRS addresses a very specific need, a dopamine need, or a structure need that so many other things can easily replicate because there's a lot of demand and it's very specific, so there's a lot of niche variances of it. What kind of flavor of SRS do you want? Duolingo is irreplaceable because it's addressing a foundational requirement. That's the source of motivation and community building and cultural relevance. And what I mean by cultural relevance, I mean internet relevance, internet culture relevance. So that stuff is irreplaceable. Even if the courses are deficient in content or it's not the best source, it adds random things that people don't agree with, it's irreplaceable sentimentally. This is replaceable. HanziHero, Anki, Wanikani, they're replaceable. So, but they gain what is good, what's the pros and cons. The cons come with the pros of SRS. SRS is modular. It can be tailored, it can be modified. When you start removing things and can't, like, scrapping things from Duolingo, the whole thing could fall apart, right? Because it's made to complement all of it. It's prescription. It's one vision. It's very coherent. HanziHero, Wanikani, Anki, it's a collective. So very, very like variant. And it nowadays, I would say it reflects the internet culture far more, in terms of preferences. So what is a preference? It's hard to know. So keep jamming more features into it. Just keep jamming features. And make sure all the content keeps going forward, but jam more features into it. And then eventually someone will find their own way of going about it that you cover it. Duolingo, one way or the highway. One way or the highway. They know how to engage you, and you're going to stay engaged until you're not. So those people who are no longer engaged, they go and look for something more feature rich to do so. I would say I did not learn a lot of things. There are things that I learned in the Duolingo Chinese course that are they can't be surmounted by HanziHero. a lot of things, especially things discovering about myself when it comes to self-study. But there are many things that are irreplaceable. So supplement, perhaps. I would like to say complementary as opposed to supplementary. I'm not even entirely sure if people who self-study language learning that speaks English and learning Chinese and Japanese really understand the word supplement and complement when they're using your hot take about, oh, this can only serve as supplement versus this can only serve as a complement. Intriguing. Just a little teaser for some of the things I'm going to talk about in less than a week from in a little over a week from now. Okay. Where are we? Chang. Wait. Yeah, He Chang. Yeah, whenever a game comes out and there's a chance to undo the unnatural shackles, it's like a breath of fresh air. In the evenings when I'm like reading video comments or watching anime and stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, it's a sentence, it's a paragraph, there are scenes, there are pictures, there are narratives, and my first thought is, boy, understanding human behavior, narration, composition, situational awareness, like nonverbal cues, all of that makes learning like sentences and vocabulary almost to me personally effortless. So the downside is I get really complacent. So like I watch anime, it's like, oh yeah, I know the general gist of what that means, and I'm like, okay, I get the situation, that's fine. But then because of how easy or much reliant I am on that, when you take it away, I might forget those things. Like, oh, well, I need a scene now, or I need somebody. So it's kind of you need a balance between being challenged so that you're really trying to focus an incentive on knowing the nuances, and then also making it easy enough that you don't scare yourself away, right? So, and for me, when I'm watching anime, it's almost as though all the Japanese just speak for itself. Even though I don't have comprehension of every single word or nuance, it explains itself because I understand the situation, right? I understand what to expect. So like in Spanish, for example, yesterday I was talking, Tio was typing a lot of things in Spanish. Even if I might not specifically know what tense it is and all that, I can still read the intention behind So when we are holding a discussion, a prolonged discussion about something, the Spanish becomes easier and easier to understand because I leverage conversation. So when you're leading a conversation, if you have the ability to lead a conversation, or someone is asking a question and they're explaining something, long-winded explanation, it becomes easier and easier to learn the language, or any language, really, in my opinion, largely because I'm leveraging the human aspect, the adult experience aspect. You know how stories are told. If you're talking about food, you're expecting certain things and you look for those things. So all your vocabulary that you learn gets gravitated towards it. And then you're picking out all the things to confirm what that person's going to say. So if there's anything I would say as a self plug for my language learning thing, maybe for a little bit later, is also the idea that if you're excellent at conversation, it makes learning from conversation a lot less effort than doing it this way. Doing it this way is like foregoing that. Like, I'm legitimately feel like I'm in a hyperbolic time chamber for this. Like, you know, time seems to slow down, but also the effort seems to spike. If I sit here and just watch two people talk about how they love food, that I would acquire most of those patterns right away because I'm looking for them. I know how people should talk about and sound when they talk about food. Meanwhile, you're learning these things like, oh, okay, so none of these words are related to each other unless occasionally they're like synonyms. And Duolingo still does more than either Wanikani or HanziHero because SRS does not do any of this. They do not thematically try to group things together by meaning. So if someone comes around and say, oh yeah, but you can learn faster, it's like, yeah, certainly, if you're into that. But even then, Duolingo at least group things by association. They prioritize the grouping of meaning and intent before collectively trying to go through your highest frequency of characters or your foundational characters and stuff. That's yeah. Making an argument that that is more natural than Duolingo is kind of weird. But I have no shortage of people encountering the idea that you would naturally learn Japanese a natural way by picking up an Anki deck. I'm like, nah, I disagree. You'll certainly still learn much faster. That I don't like. You got it. You got it. I have no qualms with that. It certainly suits you. But I prefer to just talk about food. And there was, funny enough, oh, there's Sub-Zero. There was, funny enough, a girl who came up to me and say like, oh yeah, I just hate Duolingo because they always seem to start with talking about food. And it's like, why not talk about things that actually make sense? Like, I don't understand Spanish, or like hello, goodbye. And I'm like, well, if you wave to someone and then talk about food, have you considered the context of the whole body of languages and experience you have? There are ways people talk about things specifically first prior to that. So that's in a difference in opinion and perspective. But this person made it so that it sounded like no one talks in thematic coherence when it comes to language. So therefore people shouldn't learn based on thematic coherence as opposed to the order of things. It's like, oh, that's great. I mean, I'm sure you would love to learn how to say hello, goodbye, I don't understand this, can you explain this, right away, right? That's neat. Disjointed phrases that do not have collaboratively a beginning and an end or middle or body of context. Like for me, sure, I might not know how they say something that they greet or something, but the moment they start talking about food, it's like, yeah, I'm on board. All the vocabulary just flows in because they're relevant to me, and kind of interesting. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm like collecting all the vocabulary that's necessary for me to interact with anyone who jumps into the stream, right? Say hello, but I also have to like add, how's your day? Or if they tell me about their day in a different language, I would grab that. Those are the things I would grab. Meanwhile, you still have a collective of lots of people who are saying, oh, I'm through HSK1, right? And then now I'm going to HSK2, and I'm like, all right. I mean, I have no idea what's in those, but I'm going to say it probably feels something like this. Which, if you're thinking, if one's thinking, it's like, well, you probably encounter most of them. It's like, I actually didn't encounter most of these, the way they phrase these things, because I only have like one way. Like, oh, okay, that one's useful, I'm gonna stick to that. That one's useful, I'm gonna stick to that. And then I would not be surprised that I will continue to hear words and stuff that I know well into whatever level it is, largely because it's relevant based on usage, not, or like my personal usage, not relevant to whatever some arbitrary metric that has been shown, at least in my opinion, for an adult, not a kid. So, you know, I'm not a kid anymore, so this stuff might all be relevant and whatnot for kids. But an adult has their native language. Adult has their experience in conversationalism, or lack of, because how I think younger people are going about acquiring their second language at a later in life is using their limited conversational skills and ability to read people and be actively listening in conversation to become aware of what is conversational or sufficient for conversation. So what they would go about doing that is they would go to a resource and say, oh, what level do I need to get to before I have all the parts to be conversational? And then they will use that opportunity, which is fantastic, because if they haven't already done that with their native language, this is a second opportunity to focus on your own conversational skills. Because honestly, in Japanese, if you say daijoubu desu a couple times, it could, based on your timing and your execution, you might be able to feel conversational. I think it's an experience that rarely do people bring up when they keep talking about being fluent or being comfortable with your language, or have you listened to someone or talked to someone. Those questions reveal to me, in my opinion, a priority that isn't about conversation, but about language competence, which that's a thing that's required, right? It is a thing that is required and necessary for the process. But there is another whole component to it, and that's the ability to have a conversation with someone. And I don't think you get that from input only, in my opinion. And it's so underrated now compared to the overrated, in my opinion, the whole shebang about constantly taking in input without ever practicing output. And then that output does not inform your current competency in language learning. But more so, the practice of conversationalism. So you go around, it's like, hey, now I sound like a native Japanese person. It's like, that's great. You still talk like a child to people. Like, that sounds a bit rude and direct, but that's kind of how it feels. Like, you have very brilliant people who know a lot of material, know a lot of facts, but they talk to other people like they haven't developed any emotional intelligence or conversational skills. So, yes, a person who can sound unnatural, struggling with their words, and there will be more people willing to talk to that person than a person who mastered their language, because they haven't mastered or even practiced the art of conversation, right? So you have and this is far more common now than I would have expected. Like sharing experiences of struggle, like, hey, I'm struggling with this, I don't know what it is, and then the other person would say something, oh, you just have to do this, I already did this, this will fix the problem. It's like, oh, that's not having a conversation. Like, that's kind of how people give advice too. Like, oh yeah, this is the goat, this is what you do, that's how you learn Japanese. Like, how do you know? Like, I just know because the internet knows. I'm like, oh, okay, but did you talk to that person? Like, did you even ask them? How does this work? Like, I know that there might be limited information, like this person might not know Japanese as well as you do, but you talk to them as though you never helped anyone with Japanese before. Have you done this in English or your native language? It's like, no. Okay, well, what makes you think you're a great teacher if you can't even teach in your native language? These are the kind of questions I often ask myself when it comes to someone who's saying, oh, I just care about you. So because I care about you, I can be complicit and negligent in being unfilling and lacking emotional intelligence. It's like, okay, well, sometimes, I guess, for better or worse, I tend to be around people who are far more emotionally intelligent, largely because emotional intelligence creates the reliability of having people close to you. Now, it's not very appropriate in a professional setting, obviously, because if you're around in a professional setting, you get the business done. You don't want to interact with them on a personal. That's perfectly fine. For myself, maybe this is a personal bias. I worked in an environment that's constantly a group thing, right? So I want to be able to trust my colleagues. If they don't care for me, at least they care for the project, right? So they have to be able to communicate their investment to that project. The moment I have like a colleague that doesn't communicate and they have an excellent command of all their languages, there are different languages within sub-languages. How do you speak scientifically? That is a language. How do you speak in data science? There are languages. So there are people who are very excellent at that, and yet when they present, they're not very influential, largely because they don't know how to talk and wield that information, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, obviously. Some things to consider. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She. Yeah, she. Yeah, she. Yeah, she. No. Yeah, she. Yeah, she. This one's a little weird sounding. Yeah, she. What are you? Yes. T-Swan. Yeah. T-Swan. G. 几重 4 自信 啊blah blah 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 提起或或许想法 no 想法部分 Gotta make sure there's silence. I tripped up on this a couple times. I keep forgetting to silence. Or not this specific one, but I forgot to silence another one a couple times. 信用卡提到举手计算机 Okay. Yeah, we're okay. All right. So what do we have? We have the loom thing, right? So stream is in loom, right? Or flood. We'll say stream flood. Your you have a crossbeam attached to ground that's over a stream or flood, and it's a loom where you just weave happily, I suppose. I think that's kind of rough. Okay, all right. So we have Kirby in front of the English manor. Using a loom to make a car. Turns out it was so lightweight it floated away. So Kirby's weird. Kirby's weird. Okay. We have Shrek. I guess this is in the house. Shrek is in the bathroom of the house. An altar? What are you doing with an altar? Oh, something showing. Oh, he is cleaning up an altar, right? He's cleaning up an altar, and it's brand spanking new. And he was reading the inscription on the altar that shows him something. I don't remember what it showed him though. Oh, we'll have to look at that again. Yoshi inside the chapel. This is where Yoshi... The chapel have some hills, right? Have some hills. And in this hill, there's an enclosure. Whoops. What happened in that enclosure? Oh, in that enclosure, there's something that creates a really positive feeling, right? A real positive feeling. He just wants to chill and sit there and be happy. Good on you, Yoshi. Okay, so now we have Dracula outside of the pawn shop with his list of things he needs, right, to buy from the pawn shop. All right, let's take a look at this. Yeah, I totally forget. Oh, no, that's the positive sign thing. Hold up. That's Yoshi's positive sign thing with a huge 3D positive sign. We're talking about this one, altar. So in the bathtub is a shiny altar that he has just cleaned. He reads the top of it, which has an inscription that shows him how to be a good ogre. All right, that's fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, and then we'll go over our stuff. Oh, jeez, that totem thing really felt bad. So it's horns and a syringe. It's what caused me to mess up. So horns and a syringe into the ground. Looks kind of like a totem. So that's the totem. Nothing else but rote memory for that. Why did I mess up this? Was that from yesterday? Oh, that's from yesterday. That's fine. Right. This is Ban. Sorts. Bart Simpson shooting missiles at all sorts. Okay. I think we're okay with this one now. Oh, this one is Bad News Bears. We saw this coming, but we did push it off for a day or two. We did push it off for a day or two. This is Che. Chucky. Chucky in front of the beach house. Blowing bills from his mouth. He found a new way by blowing bills from his mouth and serving people with rent debt to blow. This one's rough, so we're gonna have to work on that. Just say a couple times, I suppose. And then what the heck did I screw up here? Oh yeah, suddenly this one's tough too. So I'm feeling good. Our current system that we're working on, basically all the mistakes are really, really good mistakes. Like things that I am very sketch on. So we're trying to neglect possibilities. That's where we're going. Neglect possibilities. And then, so when it happens, right, it feels sudden. So suddenly, and that is run. Hey, thank you for streaming. Hopefully you say I appreciate always talking to you. Yeah, no worries. We talked a lot less these days, but hopefully everything is eventful for you. Find something interesting to share each day. If not for me, for yourself, you know? Or for someone that you would like to. It's great to keep one very, very interested in their day-to-day life. I think it goes a long way to keeping people happy. It sounds like a very, very hard task at first. I don't want to make any guarantees, but it becomes a lot less tough over time. Yeah. All right. Yay. So that's it for HanziHero today. I'm a little behind schedule. I kind of really wanted to talk about some stuff here. Okay. That's a wrap for HanziHero in Chinese today. For hanging out. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. Right? You're always more than welcome to follow along. Drop your hot takes. Always be prepared to discuss. Right? We're here to discuss. Got more than my fair share of stories and anecdotes. And yeah, for those who are only interested in Chinese, 大家下次见, right? And I'm gonna get up, take a quick bathroom break, and I'll be back for Spanish. Thank you.